Live from the Fat Joker Studio, it's the Get That Out of Your Mouth podcast.
All right, welcome to this week's episode of the Get That Out of Your Mouth podcast. I am Todd, and with me, as always, are the Lucas and Mike to my Dustin, Dave and Jerry.
Whoa.
Yes,
Did
I
you
said
just
it.
claim
Yes,
Dustin?
You
I
ain't no
said it.
fucking Dustin.
I said it.
Like, I'm sorry. I hate to tell you this, but you're a Mike. You're an asshole.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this.
I feel
Sure,
like
you get the superpowered girlfriend, but you're an asshole.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know who I would be in that scenario.
Well, I
I
mean,
know exactly who you
I feel like none of us, like, Will is very, no pun intended, weak-willed. So I kind of don't see any of us as Will.
You're
Sure.
Max, not Max. You're Lucas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're definitely Lucas. You're more. Well, first of all, you're definitely more athletic than my fat ass, and you're definitely more athletic than Todd.
I'm about to beat you with your own damn microphone.
Hey, you're the one who said you were Dustin and
I
opened this
stand
fucking
by it.
floodgate. You are definitely not.
I the one that I picked you for Jerry was Dustin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight.
I want you to give me a quality reason of why
I
you
would've-
feel you're a Dustin.
Because I'm always the one that's trying to bring things together. Like, I'm always the one that's like, hey, let's get together so we can record. Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, what do we need to do this? Let's get together. Let's do this.
Oh, so you're Will.
I thought about it as I was saying it. Shut the fuck up.
I just want to play D&D.
You know what?
Just want to record.
But Dustin also, he's a very good mediator of everything. And when there's a problem,
you
I
are
tend
not
to be
a good mediator.
I tend to be at the
No. After the conversation the other night, which we will not talk about on the podcast, where I was about to beat the shit out of you, he's more a mediator than you are.
Fine.
Because he and I had a whole
Fine.
30-minute
All right,
conversation
all right,
after
all
that.
right, all right. I don't accept the fact that I'm Mike. I feel I am more of a Max.
You're a Mike Will.
You're Max.
I feel like I'm more Max.
I can
I
agree
can
with
give
that.
a little bit of Max, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I feel
I can see that.
none of us are L.
Now kiss.
Suck a bag of dicks.
Lucas Max. Max Lucas. No kiss. If I only
I'm
could
Steve.
make a deal with God.
I'm Steve.
You are not a fucking
Actually,
Steve.
I would be Eddie.
You are not cool enough to be Steve.
I would be Eddie.
You know, I can bow out for
I
now.
would
rocker enough, yeah.
I would 100% be the person that would, do the Eddie thing, and be like, y'all fucking suck, you're all a bunch of bitches, but
But
don't
in terms
actually
of DM
hate
quality,
me.
I'd be an Eddie.
Well, yeah, but I
You
also
are
don't do
the DM,
D&D. So in terms of that, you would
For
be
that,
Eddie.
you lose.
I don't deny
again,
that.
I feel like Eddie. By the way, guys, we're talking
In
about
case you have-
Stranger
In case you
Things.
haven't noticed,
In case you
we're
haven't
talking
figured it
about
out,
the strange things.
we are talking about Stranger Things today.
Or as my friend would say it, you've done it. You are the stranger
But-
thing.
But here's the thing, right? So Eddie kind of passed the gauntlet on to Dustin.
Right.
Therefore, again,
Die.
I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this.
a
I go out
spiritual
in
death
a-
still counts.
I go out in a blaze of glory. I go out, a hero. I decide it's time to stop running. By the way, spoiler alert.
Oh, heavy spoiler alert for the series.
If you have not watched
We're gonna
season
have to,
4,
edit some stuff and move
no,
stuff around.
no. At this point, if they have not watched it, their fault for listening to this episode. And I'll absolutely
Just
put this
like
in the
initially
comments.
spoiler alert.
In the comments, I will put
Don't even
spoiler alert.
Don't even put it in the comments. Just go
No.
Stranger Things spoiler alert. That's
Yeah.
the title.
That works.
Okay, we can get down with that. Yeah.
So, let's give a very quick little synopsis to our conversation. So, prior to just a couple weeks ago, I had never seen a single episode of Stranger Things. I had zero interest in watching Stranger Things.
Dave
It
and
really
broke his ass
hold
down.
on. I'm getting there. I'm
I'm so excited about
I
this
am
part.
getting there. So I had not seen a single episode. I was encouraged and pushed and broken down by Jerry and Dave
Browbeaten, intimidated, threatened.
to sit down and at the very least, bare minimum, give it a try. So I did. I sat down. Now, it also happened to work out nicely that I had COVID. So I had a lot of time to sit down and watch it. But, I decided to finally give in, sit down, and give Stranger Things a try. I binge watched seasons 1 through 4. I was pleasantly surprised. Not pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it. I did. So there's that. Then once I finished it, it became, Dave, how far along are you? I'm still on episode 1 of season 4. What the fuck is wrong with you? So then I got to be the asshole.
We spent all this time.
I got to be the asshole.
Yeah. I work 3 jobs.
Eh.
Yeah. Artistic and
the store.
The store, and then a partial owner of the routes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that counted as a third job.
I mean, I usually lump them together, but
because usually it is together.
But some days it's completely separate things. You know what I mean?
So he has 2 jobs.
2.5
One,
jobs.
His second job has
2.25 maybe.
Yeah, has a second title thrown into it.
I would go 2.5, but go ahead.
Maybe 2.5.
One job has 2 responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go with
Fair enough.
That works.
So
Okay. So all having been said,
I want to get your impressions because you're the newcomer into this.
Okay.
Dave and I have been watching Stranger Things basically from the beginning.
From the jump, yeah.
right?
You, on the other hand, basically binged it.
Yes, I have more recent sight. Not recent sight. What's the word I'm looking for? I have more knowledge of what happened in the earlier seasons because it's all fresher in my mind.
By the way, I got my daughter into it, and we're watching season 1 already.
How old is your daughter?
11.
That's about right. It's a good age. I would let my nephew watch it. Yeah.
For an 11-year-old, but yeah, I get it.
No, I think my nephew would be really into it.
Well, the first season is kind of like themed more as like a horror, right?
Yeah.
And she's recently got into the horror genre, so I'm just like, all right. And her mom gave her approval. Yeah.
No, I got to sit
Watch
down
it
and
together,
bring
but
my
yeah.
nephew and sit him down and we'll watch it. I think that'd be fun. So, all right, my opinion of the series as a whole, Jerry.
Yes.
My opinion of the series as a whole. Again, like I said, I liked it. There was a lot of nostalgia thrown in, which I did like, but there was not as much as I was originally told. Like, I was told that I would feel so nostalgic, and like, yeah, there were a couple things, here and there, but it wasn't anything too crazy. That said, I liked the story. I felt that all the characters played off each other very, very well.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What made you want to keep going after season 1?
I'm the type of person that, unless I truly, truly, truly hate it, I will continue. If I know there's multiple seasons, like in front of me, I will just continue. So, like, if I had just sat down and watched season 1 and I really wasn't overly into it, like I was like, all right, this is okay, I might not sit down when season 2 comes out and watch it. But because it's all right in front of me and it's all easily accessible and there, yeah, I'll watch it.
Okay, I can respect that.
It's kind of like the show The Flight Attendant on HBO Max. Okay, with Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah.
I watched season 1. I wanted to give it a shot. It was okay. Wasn't overly thrilled with it. I started season 2. I think I got 3 episodes in and I'm like, I have no interest. But because it was all bingeable, for lack of, yeah, that's the best word. Because it's all bingeable, it was like, I'm here. I might as well watch it. It's a fun show. It had a good story. Right, exactly. I sit at work for 11 hours a day and twiddle my thumbs and whatever. So I figured, I'll watch it.
Okay, so here's a different sort of adjacent question.
Okay.
What made you go from going, okay, this is okay, to I like this?
What, was it a moment or was it like a season?
I think there were several moments where I was like, all right, I can keep watching this and be okay with it. Several moments. I was like, all right. I would say, in season 1, when they finally brought Will back, and you kind of get the sense that thing is still there. It's like the very end of season 1, and that what was the word? What's the word that they used for them?
Demogorgon?
Yes, Demogorgon. It lost my.
It's okay.
Yes, when you knew that was still in existence, you're like, all right, where are they going to take this? So like that had me intrigued. So like there were moments that had me intrigued. What hooked me and really got me into it, and it sounds like, and it seems like it was later than everything else, was the end of season 3. Timeout.
The problem with binging. Everything's
and no, it was episode 7 of season 4 when Elle had the big fight. That was when I believe that's when she fought one. No, shit. See, I am starting to.
Don't worry about the episode. Just worry about the moment.
But like the moment where, like, they start to piece together that one and the
Henry
and Vecna, and they're all one and the same, no pun intended, but it's just a happy accident.
Yeah.
But I think when and I started to piece it together little by little as that episode was going.
It was almost like a little mystery of like little breadcrumbs.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think when it went into like the big action sequence and they're fighting each other and you see all that and she just sits back and she looks like a certified badass, I'm like hooked. Mm-hmm. I'm in. Like I'm excited for the next season, and I'm upset. I'm upset that it's the final season. Like that's what got me.
Technically,
they say that.
No. Here's what they're saying. Apparently, from what they're saying is, Stranger Things, as a series right now, is ending at 5.
Mm-hmm.
But did you know that the Duffer Brothers actually opened up a studio because of their success called, I think it's called the Upside Down Studios?
Nice.
They will be creating a spin-off Stranger Things series.
The Tales of Dustin. I think that would be fun. Actually, I would watch that show.
Dustin, the long road traveled to his girlfriend.
Yes. But yeah, so I think that's what really hooked me. Episodes 8 and 9, the last 2 episodes of season 4, were excellent. I think it was some of the best.
I'm actually surprised at how long it took in the series that was the moment. But
yeah. Well, like I said, there were moments that there were moments that held my interest. There were several moments, and like for me to sit there and pinpoint, like I don't know if I can, but there were several moments that held my interest and made me say, "All right, I can keep watching." I'm intrigued. I want to know what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's fair. I'll say mine. The thing that got me from, hey, this is not, how do I put this? Like Stranger Things season 1 was good,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, it was good, but I'm not sure if season 2 is going to be any better.
Right.
What really changed that was the episode of season 2 when Will is standing in the field and he's going in and out between the upside down
Yes.
and the like his brain is, and then you see the fucking mind flare.
See, and I can agree with that. Like those are the types of things. That's the sort of thing that piqued my interest and kept me wanting to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, I also, what was it, season... When did they introduce Max?
Season
3.
2.
Season 2 or 3.
I think it was towards the middle of the...
Middle of the
Got that?
Around season 2, sorry. I've been
So,
up since
I know.
fucking...
So, I really, and this is a controversial statement, but for a reason, I liked Billy.
No, that's not that's not controversial.
Like,
He was designed to be sort of like he's supposed to be unlikable, but there's a
Yes.
certain charm about him.
so it's the idea that he is so unlikable, and I keep going back to the idea, like, I always try and relate things to where my nerdiness comes from, and my nerdiness is centered around wrestling. You know, I look at, you know, a true heel, and for those, again, if you don't know, heel is a bad guy in wrestling. You know, a true heel is somebody that you hate so much, but he or she elicits such a reaction. No matter what, you are going to have some sort of emotional reaction to that person.
Yeah.
That is the definition of a top tier heel. And in my opinion, Billy played a top tier heel in that series.
He
also, for those, and I think you knew this, he played Jason in the Power Rangers movie.
Fuck you! I was just about to say that.
I know. I saw it in your face.
No, that's fucked up. I hate you. No, I was literally waiting for him to end and be like, you know, speaking about where I come from in nerds, fuck you.
I can edit that out.
That same act. No, fuck off. Keep it in. Keep in my anger.
Fuck you. Leave the anger. Leave the rage.
Like for
Let
all,
it
for all the
control
same actor
you.
played the Red
Let it
Ranger
take over.
Jason Lee Scott in the live-action 2017 Power Rangers movie, which I will say I enjoyed. I know a lot of people didn't. I liked it.
I enjoyed that as well.
I would have liked it better.
You keep your wrestling shit. I'll keep mine.
I would have liked it better.
I just happened to mention it, God damn it!
No.
I would have liked it better if they also included the Green Ranger, and not just the potential Green Ranger in the future.
It was supposed to be sequel bait.
I know.
Did not do well enough for sequel though.
You know.
Anyway, we got off track.
Anyway.
Now I'm gonna maintain on this focus. I'm gonna jump the gun a little bit. Season 4.
Okay.
The prison, one of the main prison guards, the blonde, the one that's like
You're
don't
getting-
shoot it, don't kill him.
You're getting in depth. I'd have to go back and really watch, but go ahead.
He was the guy that was trying to smuggle him out, right?
No,
No,
Not to talk about that.
no, that was a different guy.
The guy who ended up throwing the guy who was trying to smuggle Hopper out.
Yeah.
Throwing him under the bus.
Wider face.
Okay, yeah.
Trivia in my nerddom, he played the White Ranger in Power Rangers Jungle Fury.
Huh.
One of my favorite Rangers.
Okay.
Okay.
I would never have known that.
Yeah, I knew that because I saw his face and went, oh shit.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Wasn't aware.
Cool. That was like, those were the two tasty tidbits of my nerddom that I wanted to say.
Okay. That works. I love you too, Jerry. So, getting back to what we were saying, getting back to Stranger Things, because...
It was Stranger Things. It was still Stranger Things related.
It was. It was.
It was just adjacent.
So...
Jason.
I got that. All right, so...
You're so funny.
I think, Jerry, you and I talked about this a little bit. Dave, I don't think you and I talked about this because when I last talked about this with somebody, you had not finished it yet.
And I intentionally did not talk about too much about
That's fine.
any of the Stranger Things with you or Jerry, because I knew we were doing the podcast on it.
All right. So I love predictions.
We talked.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I want to know because I made a good prediction. I made a prediction to you.
No. Can
Huh?
you show me? Sorry.
Keep going,
Tarzan?
John. Yes.
I made a prediction to Jerry about something that I feel could be happening, and he took that and he took it to the next level.
Okay.
And we had a discussion about it. I want to go in depth on said discussion,
Okay.
and then there's other things that I want to discuss. And I'm sure there's things that you guys want to discuss.
Oh, absolutely.
So, my prediction, for those that have watched it and those that will happily discuss this, we end the season with Max being in a coma. Now, and they mentioned at one point she did in fact die, that her heart stopped, I believe they said for 2 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that. So Lucas mentioned that she did in fact at one point or another die. So we end the season with her in a coma. My belief, because she did in fact die and Elle brought her back from the beyond, no, in the beyond, if that right, that's what we're calling it. It's almost like
Upside down.
but she wasn't in the upside down. It was when she was almost in like the purgatory.
Like, just in her mind.
Right.
That was her
the
mind.
mindscape, I guess.
The mindscape, yeah. I look at it as almost like a purgatory because Elle can still do things apparently, and she can kind of manipulate things in there, but nobody else can really do anything.
Well, she can't really manipulate things. It's more like manipulate like her, like Max herself.
Well, now that's the case. That's what I'm saying. So like she, in the mindscape, I guess let's call it that. She brought Max back to life. Right? Max took a breath, and then we end with her in the coma. I believe that in doing that, Elle transferred some powers from herself into Max. Okay? So,
Going kind of a vibe of like Harry Potter kind of touch.
similar mentality in the idea that like Voldemort transferred certain amount of power to Harry,
yeah.
and yeah.
Okay.
Similar mentality.
I think you're not gonna like my prediction.
Okay.
Well, you've heard my prediction.
So-
I think you'll love my prediction.
So, you know, I mentioned that to Jerry, and then Jerry, you said,
Yeah, that's right. I'm just trying to formulate my head back. Okay, well, is this about the
Max.
D&D lore thing?
maybe.
Because I don't remember exactly what I talked
So,
about.
all right, I believe it was you. It could have been somebody else actually, who made the statement that with this following in the same mentality, Eddie.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You'll like this a lot, Dave. Essentially,
I liked
in
this.
D&D lore, and like, there's no way that they didn't pick Vecna, and they're like, I feel like there's no way they're not going to do this. Essentially, in D&D lore, Vecna had a right-hand man named Cass, who was a paladin who was brought back to life as an undead being by Vecna. In the D&D lore, Vecna ultimately gets defeated not by the party but by Cass himself, who breaks the control and betrays Vecna. So my theory is, and I'm like I'm stealing this from somebody, but I don't remember who, but I agree with it. Eddie. You know how Max was brought back to life by 11? Vecna may have noticed that.
I tend to like that theory that Vecna brings Eddie back to life as his, I guess, right-hand man, or...
I think he's going to be more controlled like a puppet.
I think so, too.
And I think 11 is going to sort of wake him up.
I can see that.
Like, I think basically Vecna's going to bring Eddie back, and Eddie is going to kill people. I
think Eddie's going to die again.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, like, at the end of that, he's going to end up dying again, and everybody's going to cry.
Yeah, the power that's keeping him alive is no longer there since Vecna will be...
Yeah.
Like, one will have been destroyed.
I can get down with that mindset, but where does that leave Max? Right?
I'm sort of on the same...
I was wondering if you're gonna bring Max into the play of Vecna's...
My two things about...
So here's why. Vecna's power is what killed Max. Vecna's power did not bring her back. But just like Todd discussed with the aspect of Harry Potter being touched by the power of thinking Max is going to get that, I'm wondering if Vecna reaches out, being able to actually imprint and use Max instead of Eddie. But my personal taste is, even though she's claimed to be in a coma, my theory is Max is actually dead, and it's through having to see her die again that it gives them the despair and the fortitude to truly defeat Vecna. It brings Max's character dying in this most recent season touches everyone with the exception of Dustin, which is why I feel that from a writing standpoint, Eddie had to die.
It touched Dustin.
Not in the same way.
Not in the same way.
Because here's the thing, Elle and Max become close friends in season, what was it?
Season 2? Beginning of season 3.
Yeah, Dustin seemed like it's sort of an outlier.
Outlier for it.
You're not wrong.
They were friends, but they weren't extremely close from what I'd seen.
Yeah, and all the other party members has a deep connection. Lucas is dating Max. Elle was friends with Max.
Yeah.
Mike is dating 11. So that part of the group is very separate from Dustin in that way, right? Dustin's girlfriend is I don't know how many miles away, right?
Right. She's in Salt Lake City, Utah.
I'm happy that you remembered that.
I just remember because her dad was uber religious.
Yes, super religious.
And the devil, and then her sister, her family was all... I loved that.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that. The family was so fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
The kids were all demon spawn, and she was the only one no, it's a sin against Jesus, and I'm just your sister's about to go outside and smoke meth. What the hell are you talking about?
It was weird.
I know, but still, she looked like she was ready to smoke meth.
My man Argyle like that. Don't diss Argyle.
No, her sister was ready to smoke meth. Argyle just had her smoking weed. She would have smoked meth if she had been given an opportunity. Why are you bringing meth into the situation? Don't backpedal. Just take your L and move on with it. Okay, nobody else wants to mention the fact that meth wasn't even created really at that point?
No.
In 1986?
No, you're just trying to make the teenager out to be fucking meth smoking, dude. Come on.
Anyway, that part's going to be edited out.
He's just, because he's just mad.
I really don't care.
Take the L.
I really don't care.
Take it. Take it all.
That's what Jerry's date said to him.
Not Incredible Hulk.
Just Hulk. Yep.
Anyway. What? Moving on.
Anyway.
That was just rude and unnecessary.
You're welcome.
Jerry just threw a bottle at me.
No, I attempted to bottle flip it onto his head and failed.
Random question. What is our prediction as far as Nancy's story arc between Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve?
They're setting up a love triangle. Oh no, they've set up the love triangle.
Yeah, the love triangle is in full effect right now.
Now, I have a theory on that. And it's not that... I don't know if anybody's going to get mad at me for this, but I think Will is going to wait too long to let her know that, like, he's not planning on going to the same college that she is. And
Wait, Jonathan.
Jonathan, sorry.
I was like,
Will's
Will's a little too young for that.
I got you. I got what you're saying.
I'm tired.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna interrupt real quick because I have a thought about where you're going. But they're already in their senior year. The show season 5 is gonna come back.
I thought they're out of their senior year.
Steve is out of his senior year.
Steve and Nancy were in the same grade.
No. No, Steve had already graduated because Robin was also in senior year. It was Robin, Nancy, and Jonathan that were seniors in high school.
Okay, fair enough.
So they'll already be out, and I have a strong feeling when season 5 comes back, we're gonna see the main 6, meaning Max, L. Well, let's just throw Max in there just for the sake of saying it. They're going to be in their senior year.
I don't...
Maybe not senior year, maybe like junior year.
My whole reason for saying no is because, like, the way this has happened, there's no way season 5 doesn't pick up where season 4 left off. There's no way.
I don't know.
The ash raining down from... the upside-down ash raining from the sky.
I
There's
agree.
no way this doesn't pick up where that left off.
I see what you're saying.
They're not gonna wait a year or even 2. This is good. They're gonna have to deal with this now.
I can see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying, but I disagree with it.
I
feel like Vecna is gonna go into hiding.
He has to.
I don't know.
To regain his power and strength.
But that sort of makes it all the reason because they know he's not gone.
Also, looking at the pattern that they've gone through, every season they've increased in grades because they've grown.
Okay.
So if they're
season
going to
3
stick
to
with the
season
pattern,
4 is less than a year between each other.
But there was also there was maybe a year between seasons?
Not really. I mean,
I'm not 100% sure, but that's the thing. Like they can, you can almost get away with that. Okay.
We deviated a little bit from the question as far as Nancy, Jonathan, or
right.
Nancy, Steve.
Right. No, I know.
Again,
it happens.
I think
I'm interested as to where Robin's going to fall in this. I mean, look, they could flat out sit there and throw us completely off and say Nancy and Robin get together.
that would be interesting. I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think it would happen either, but I think it's the idea. They're already tiptoeing. Let me not say tiptoeing. They are flat out acknowledging the fact that homosexuality back in the mid to late 80s was not a social norm, and not necessarily socially acceptable, which is one of the reasons that they have tiptoed on Will's sexuality so much. So
they all but confirmed
right
in this most recent season.
Right. Oh yeah, there's no question. It's everything.
That whole Mike, you're the heart of the
right.
team.
Right.
That.
Oh, there's absolutely
aspect. Like you can't.
And then in season 2, when all he wanted to do was play D&D and he wanted nothing to do with girls, and all the guys are like, no, like fuck D&D, I want to be with my girlfriend. Like we want girls, and I agree, but I agree. I'm curious to see what happens with Nancy and Steve, because Steve's going to be, is he still going to be there for her in that same way?
Can we
Is
also-
Jonathan?
Can we also acknowledge that Steve understands? So something that me and my girlfriend were talking about.
Okay. Sorry, I don't want to. I don't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
But as far as I'm looking at right now, the gap between season 1 and season 2 is not that long.
Okay.
Like, they start. It's like a little less than. It's a bit less than a year. It's like 8 to 10 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Now from.
Now, is that's... Are we talking in the show, like the gap?
Oh yeah, in the show.
Okay.
Like show timeline, not like production season, because
Okay.
production hell's a bitch.
Right. So, like, that's kind of my thought process, because they did go from, like, season 3, they were finishing up 7th grade, or something along those lines. So they were in 7th grade, and season 4, they were freshmen in high school. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Season, looks like season
2 to 3.
Because they went from...
season 3 was Starcourt Mall. Starcourt Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Season 3 takes place from, like, well, season 2 ends in around, like, the November area.
Okay.
Season 3 picks up in, like, June.
I mean...
That's a lot sooner than a year.
Season 1 starts in 1983. Season 4 is 1986.
5.
Is it?
5. I'm maybe on the web right now.
Maybe I'm thinking because it's the class of 1986, so it's late 1985. That's possible. That might make more sense. That might be where my confusion's coming from, because it's the class of 1986, and I kept seeing that. And you're probably 100% right.
October of 1985
Okay.
to March of 1986. Not a year. That's like 6 months.
Interesting. Wait, that's what season 3 to season 4?
Yep.
Interesting.
So, like I said, not a ton of time.
Okay.
More than I thought. Not
Okay.
as much.
Okay. And not as much as I thought. So okay. No problem.
I ain't rubbing it in.
No, I
There's no-
stand correct. Like I
That's
said,
shit I didn't know.
just watched it. It's
And you kind of like,
Fuck off.
again, you binge watched it.
right. So like the things were going to blend together a little bit.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, getting back to your question, because we just had a small discussion about it.
I don't remember my question.
Nancy, Steve, Jonathan.
It was my question.
Oh, you asked that. Okay.
I want what I want. I still want the Steve Nancy redemption. I love Steve, and like,
He came a long way from being the dick from season.
He did.
was a douche bully.
He did.
And he came from being the douche bully.
He redeemed himself.
to the he's the good-hearted man.
He's the hero. Almost the semi nerdy hero.
Yeah, like he's got nerd bits in him now. Like Dustin definitely brushed off on him a lot.
Yeah.
But
I
instead
love their relationship together. I think that
their
dynamic
relationship
is
fucking
amazing.
beautiful.
It's amazing.
Dustin, Steve, yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking the episode in season 3 when he's working at Scoops Ahoy
Yes.
and Dustin's like, "Hi," and Robin's like, "Hi, I'm Dustin." That's nice. Is he here? And all you hear is just Steve just burst through the window. Dustin!
Right?
Oh,
It's like
it made
it's
me
like a
so
brother
happy.
dynamic. I loved it.
Like he took Dustin under his wing.
Yes.
And was like, "This is how if you want to be cool,
Right. This is
gotta
how
do
you
this
be
kind of
cool.
stuff.
This is how you meet girls.
This is how you meet girls. This is how you handle like being a teenager."
Yes.
And Dustin rubbed off immensely, and like made Steve a kinder person.
Yeah. And it's great because if you notice, Dustin doesn't have that older sibling.
He doesn't.
And he doesn't have...
Well, he does. It's Steve.
Right. But he doesn't have an older sibling. He doesn't have a dad. So that we know of.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if they ever mentioned. I don't remember. If somebody knows.
We've seen his mom, but
Right. We've seen his mom. We've never seen a dad. So he probably needed that positive male role model. That's great, and I love that.
What was I going to say? But I understand why they broke up in the first Stranger Things and why it needed to happen.
Yes.
Because before Steve had that transition, he was a fucking douche.
Yes, he needed to have the heartbreak.
But he had that heartbreak, and that's also what I believe helped him develop his character.
Yes.
And now that Nancy's seeing that, I'm like, I love Will. I love Jonathan. I keep saying Will because it's Jonathan and Will. I love Jonathan. I really do. But it seems to be like the stress of what Jonathan is going through.
Mm-hmm.
He's not communicating enough. He's not
pulling away.
He's pulling away, and that ultimately, while I would not be upset if they ended up still staying together, unfortunately, I feel that's the reason why they're not going to last.
Interesting. I can agree with that.
Whereas Steve's opened up a lot
Yeah,
more, especially
Steve-
in season 4.
I think you mention it. Steve sat there, and he laid out his future thought process.
She was into it.
She was really into it.
She was like, okay, maybe
Like
not
she
6
even
kids, but
said,
okay.
she even said, "I am into this." Not in those exact words, but she said, like, "You want a family? Like, let's not start with 6 children or whatever the hell he said, because he said some exorbitant number, right? So it might have been 6.
Harringtons.
Right. So she's like, maybe not 6 kids, but we can work with this. So, like...
I would like to point out that he was talking about the same RV that they had just stolen.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. There was a lot of theft in this show, and I like it.
But can we also talk about how much Steve's developed in the space of knowing what genre he is in?
Yes.
Like, you remember, like, back in season 1 where he's just like, like, Jonathan showing Nancy how to shoot a gun versus Steve, who's just, like, not really a combative person. And now, like, you get to season 4 and, like, he hears a bump. He's not going to investigate. He's just pulling the bat and getting ready.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's conditioned at this point
Yes.
to just, like, instead of going, what is that? It's just,
all right, bat.
Yes. Yep. I agree.
it's like
Like-
fucking, it's like
He's a-
Ghostbusters. It's, grab your sticks.
Yep.
And it's like Venom. It's like from the
Yep.
Venom movie. Mask copy.
Right. He has taken the fight on the fight or flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
You have that fight or flight response where, you hear something, it's like, oh my god, what is that? To, fuck, what was that? Let's go.
Yeah.
I still need to see Steve have his fight redemption arc.
Yes.
Like,
Jonathan and Steve are going to fight again. Number
that's
1.
not what I mean, though.
No, I know what you mean. Well, I don't know exactly what you mean, but
Okay. Season 1,
I will say...
Steve gets the shit kicked out of him.
Right.
Season 2, Steve gets the shit kicked out of
He
him.
always does.
Season 3, well, not as badly. Like, he gets his own licks in, but majority, Steve gets his shit kicked in.
Yep.
Season 4, he didn't really get into a gigantic fight.
Yeah.
I need to see Steve beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah. Just
He
go
got-
aggro Hulk.
He got what was it? Entangled.
Yeah. Like, if it weren't for Robin, I would have loved to have seen Steve get up there and like, as Nancy's pulling out the gun, just fucking pulls out the spike bat and just fucking cracks Vecna with it.
Yes.
But fucking Robin was just like, oh, that's the thing I'm not supposed to step on. Step.
Yep.
Yeah,
But I'm clumsy. Why the fuck did we bring you?
pretty much.
Like, I love Robin. I love Robin's
I
character.
I
But
love
fuck,
her
Why did we bring you?
her banter. Her banter with everybody is just fun. She adds a new level of comedy.
Oh, yeah, I love Robin.
Like, why are you people here? Like, why did we go in for you? Why is this happening? But, so, I just had something that one thing I want to touch on real quick that I really liked, because you see different shows and different movies in this sort of genre that there's people are getting hurt, people are getting killed, people are getting beat, and people are getting bloodied. There's always somebody that has barely a scratch on them at the end of it. In Stranger Things, you don't have that.
No,
It's very
everybody's hurt.
I like that because it's like it's real.
So speaking of the Russia story arc,
I think the Russia story arc was so much fun.
After watching it the whole way through, I get the vibe that they were trying to go with kind of like Return of the King from like Lord of the Rings, right? Take the Eye of Sauron back. You know what I mean? Jerry?
No, I that's beyond me. But go ahead.
I understand what you mean.
So you remember Hopper and Joyce talking about going back and destroying all the Demigorgon's tissues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the hope was, because everything was psychically linked to Henry, that it would hurt Henry and give the kids a chance to kill him.
Yeah.
Right?
And it seemed to.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So I got the vibe of same kind of scenario as
Return of the King from that is like they were again trying to pull focus away from the kids to give them an opening, if you will.
I wouldn't say focus. Because it's kind of impossible to just go, hey, look at me. Well, but you're in Russia.
Well,
They're right there.
Yeah,
but
think it was-
but it was
focus
like,
might
again, like,
not-
They were trying
the
to-
psychic link.
It's
Hurt him.
right. It's like if we weaken him in this regard, it gives them an opportunity. Let's see. Hold on. Is he gonna do it? Oh. Okay.
What were you trying to do?
I don't know.
What did you think I was going to do?
I don't know. Just the way you were holding the bottle. Anyway, but yeah, you know, like I was quickly saying, like I like the fact that they were real. Like everybody got hurt.
and again, in that Russia story arc,
Hopper, like you see,
Oh, Hopper got his ass beat, and he said, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
like
Dude, I'm sorry. At the beginning, and I think this was intentional. In season 1, I didn't like Hopper.
Well, he
It was-
was a fat, lazy alcoholic.
Right. And I know it was intentional. It was done on purpose. You did not want to like him. I didn't like the porno stash in season 2.
I liked him even in season 1.
Well, I mean, I liked him.
I ended up liking him at the end of season 1.
I
Like, you
liked
found
him.
out why he was like that.
Right. No,
When
and
you
I
find
couldn't-
out, when
yeah.
you find out why he was like that, like
No, I
was
agree.
Like, as soon like, and you find out relatively early, like that about his kid and his wife, and I immediately picked it up, like, oh, like, and when he fucking calls up his ex-wife and she's like, I can't talk, like, well, I told you not to call here, blah,
Right.
blah blah blah. I was like, oh, so they got divorced because their kid like either died,
Something
or
happened, yeah.
something happened, and I'm just like, this to leave him this broken. His daughter had to have died.
Right. You know, and
So
I
like,
kind of
I immediately liked him.
You want to hear a dumb theory I had in like when season 1 came out?
What?
I thought Elle was actually his daughter. Because it wasn't it said that she died. But like, you know, like they're like if they knew she had some kind of psychic powers, they'd just take her.
I can see what you're saying there.
Well, that when season 1 came out, that's what I had thought.
I-
And then
yeah.
the reason why it made my brain think that, then season 2 and 3 when
Right.
they
They-
made her his surrogate,
Right.
yeah,
His surrogate father, yeah.
yeah, when they made her
I can see that. I can
What did-
absolutely see
What
that.
did y'all think of how Elle had to get her powers back?
I thought that was excellent.
I think it's a little weird.
No.
No. Listen to what
Go
I'm saying.
ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think it's weird how she got them back. I think it's weird how she lost them to begin with.
I
Vecna
can
controlling the Mind Flayer, or the Mind Flayer-esque thing,
right.
bit her
Yeah.
and implanted a slug
Right.
in her leg.
Right.
What in her leg was linked to the psychic powers?
So I that's what I like. What I think they were trying to say, that it wasn't necessarily that her powers weren't there, that she was mentally blocking the powers. There was like a subconscious mental block that she had to get past.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that either.
I mean, I don't know if I believe it either,
Well, 'cause,
but I
like,
think
you
that's what
can
they were
hear-
kind of saying.
You can hear Vecna actually talk about how he needed her power.
Right.
So, and then he said, so I took it. And then they show that scene. So he took something from her, which caused either a mental block or it physically took something from her. What the fuck was in her leg?
So that's what.
I think it was just the ability to attach something to her,
Right.
like
I-
like an antenna.
You know,
basically.
and you think about like
To-
if
to
you have.
send a text,
You know,
what I mean?
if you
Or-
you send a slug, you have the slug bite her and inject itself into her, you know, then the slug kind of takes blood from her, and then her DNA is then implanted in the mindset of Vecna, and then I still maintain, and you know, it's all theories at this point. We know that, but
and I
it
know
is-
everything's not going to make sense.
right.
Like,
But it's. I feel like because Vecna said, "I needed your power," she created that mental block. Like, he took my powers from me.
I was actually surprised that neither one of you brought up
oh no.
Dr. Brenner. What?
The ice cream cake is still on the table.
That's fine. We'll eat it after.
Yep.
I like ice cream cake.
The Dr. Brenner.
How did he survive?
One,
I need to
how-
know that.
One, how did he survive? And two, the other thing is the fact that he.
He completely redeemed himself.
No, he
I know
didn't.
he didn't.
At the very end,
No, he didn't.
He helped her escape.
Okay.
She almost forgave him. At the very end, she basically forgave him. She may not have said it, but she did.
No, she let it go. She did. I don't.
There's a very big difference between letting it go.
Is somebody trying to speak to us from the upside down?
The lights are flickering. That is kind of odd.
Talk to me.
Ziggy, make the light red. Ziggy, make the light red.
Okay.
I talk more lots of all
This is a little pornographic. Let's not do this. Ziggy, make the light white. Ziggy, make the light white.
Okay.
Okay, that's better.
Ziggy, strobe light.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Fuck you, Ziggy.
Anyway, so let's continue on.
Anyway, I think Dr. Brenner is. I think Elle hit the nail on the head in that scene where she calls him the monster.
That I can agree with.
Like she came back. Like she was taken. She was taken back. She was taken back, and they said, "This is what we need to do, and this is going to be tough.
Right.
If for any reason that you feel that you can't do this, we will stop."
Side note, going along with that, I love, and I don't remember his name,
Owen.
maybe Carl Reiner's, the actor that plays the therapist. And he was the he went up against Brenner and said, "No, we are not going to keep hurting her."
Yeah, Owen.
Owen. All right, I couldn't remember his
Dr.
name.
Owens or whatever.
I loved his like in the beginning when we first meet him. It's like
I don't know
he's
if we can
almost
trust
as
you.
bad. Right,
Yeah.
he's almost as bad as Brenner.
Like, we don't know anything about you.
Right.
And you're working at Hawkins' lab. You can't be
Right.
good.
And then he turns out to be like
Oh, I
the
would
godsend that we needed.
Yeah.
Because he, even though Brenner kind of pushed her to the brink, he was what was needed because he was the voice of reason. I can appreciate that.
And that right there is why I feel that he was not he did not completely redeem himself.
And I can agree with that.
Because
I can agree with that.
Because he looked at that voice. Because Brenner looked at that voice of reason and said, "Fuck you. We're doing
Yep.
what we're doing what I feel we have to."
Right.
He is the definition of chaotic good
Yeah.
or lawful evil.
Yeah.
Who, Brenner?
Yeah.
He did want to lock her away and basically say, "Look, if all those people
The
die,
ends
that
justify the
sucks."
means
Yeah.
for him.
Right.
Like, I like I said, I'm rewatching season 1. Like, him pushing her to to kill a cat. Then
Yeah.
when she doesn't want to, throwing her in the room, she fucking kills those 2 people, and he's just like, perfect, you're glorious. It's like,
Yeah.
and his character did not change that much.
No.
The ends always justified the means.
That's why I don't feel like I feel at the end when he was dying, he went, "I have to I'm dying. There's no way to get around this. It's either I don't remove this and nobody has a fighting chance, or I remove this and then there might be a chance."
Right.
Yep.
Like, this was I'm going to die. Do I either doom us all or give us a sliver of hope?
Right.
And he, like, to his credit, he always was looking for a way to solve the problem.
Right.
I think he to be honest with you, I don't think he looked at it as just a problem.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to reclaim that what he considered his. Right? I think he looked at all those kids as his, including
His
one.
property.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He wanted them to look at him. This is where I didn't like. All those kids looked at him in terms of, and they all called him Papa. Mm-hmm. Elle was the only one that he ever referred to as his actual daughter. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody else was dead, but still, it's definitely, he looked at them more as property.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna give one more point that I really, because we touched on it a few minutes ago.
Do it.
Eddie,
Okay.
master of fucking puppets.
That was great.
I was so
I don't know.
happy.
I don't know which part of that Eddie's arc I liked more, Master of Puppets, or seeing him with that trash can lid and spear taking on the.
I liked all of it.
I definitely, again, I liked all of it. I don't know which took more for me. Like, the Master of Puppets, so.
Like, to watch that, like, he stood on top of the fucking trailer, and just like fucking wailed.
It was wonderful.
It was so perfect, and he pulled the bats away and completely just went fucking Rambo. I respected the hell out of that.
He went, okay, I pulled them to me.
Yes.
Time to go to work.
Exactly.
Oh.
And he told Dustin, I gotta do this. This is on me. And
I'm tired of running.
Right, I'm tired of running. And the second he grabbed the guitar, because he said, she was meant to be here. she's in this dimension just like the other one. Like, she was meant to be here. I wasn't sure where he was going, what song he was getting ready to hit. The second I heard dun dun dun, I was like, fuck yes. Because it is the perfect song for that moment. Like that.
Yeah.
That moment right there hooked me more than any other moment in the entire
you're
series.
A big music buff.
Right. And yeah, that's a big part of it. I love Metallica. I will say also, I don't know if you guys saw this, Metallica did a show just a couple days ago or like a week ago, and on the video screen, they had that clip when they started doing Master of Puppets. They had the clip of Eddie on the trailer, and the fans went fucking ape shit.
Of course.
So it was just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I did appreciate that.
If the actor that plays Eddie doesn't have a single thing ever go on in his life, another acting gig, he will always have that fucking moment.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
He immortalized himself in that moment. So fucking good.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
And he 100% passed the baton, to Dustin and said, "You are in charge. Like, this is your game now." Mm-hmm. He for all intents and purposes, he made Dustin the dungeon master.
For all intents and purposes.
Yes.
I knew Eddie was gonna die, especially after seeing the bromance develop between Dustin and Eddie.
See,
you see the part where I knew he was going to die.
I mean, I knew it way
Steve
before that.
And Dustin, when Steve and Eddie were talking about Dustin,
yes,
the way Eddie was talking, I went, Eddie knows he's not coming back from this.
Right.
Or
there's no question.
Or at least he thinks he's not coming back from this.
Yep.
No, something.
Are you referring to the moment where he's talking about him and Dustin?
Yeah.
Not being heroes.
No,
where he basically told Steve, like, you need to make sure to take care of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
basically like Dustin was off doing what he was doing, and Steve and Eddie had a moment together.
Yes.
And they were talking about Dustin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On a completely side note, how anticlimactic but fucking just gruesomely awesome was that fucking head of the basketball team's death?
I would have liked.
I'm trying to remember it.
Like, I would have liked
just
more.
Kind of like disintegrated in half.
Okay, yeah.
Remember when the line finally split through the house?
Yes.
And fucking the head of the basketball team is just
fell down on top of it,
and then all of a sudden his body just started splitting in half.
Yeah. Okay, I remember it now.
Yeah.
Can we take a moment, because we haven't touched this at all? The death that Vecna causes. The way he kills people, lifts them up, fucking snap. You watch their arms just snap in 45 different places. The legs snap. Mm-hmm. The eyes start to bleed out. Like,
and then
they just like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's one of the craziest deaths I've seen in terms of like a horror film or
even
show.
in Stranger Things, that's high.
Yes.
Like getting mauled by the Demogorgon, you don't see a lot of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like
you see it, but not.
Like the Demodogs, you don't see a lot of it.
Right.
Like with the fucking Mind Flayer taking over people's bodies, you see it blurred and you can see them explode.
Right.
But that's more sci-fi.
Right.
You like even
this
if
went
it's
straight up
sci-fi,
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, like even if it's still sci-fi, you could you see the body breaking. They
Right.
don't even shy away from it. They're like, yeah, we're gonna show you this body breaking.
Right. I respected the hell out of that. Like I said, very reminiscent of that, of Freddy Krueger, like early stuff. Mm-hmm. Freddy Krueger, where he's in the dream and he's like gouging people and you see the blood pouring out of their face. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Ow.
Well, don't pick it.
I'm not.
that said,
Or
anybody else have anything they want to discuss?
I think that was it. That was the big the big
Yeah, that was
parts.
yeah.
I'm sure there's more, but let us all know what you think. Give us your opinion if you're a fan of the show.
And if we can think of anything else, if you want
Yeah,
to
if
see us
there's-
do an episode 2.
Yeah, we will absolutely talk about it. We have no problem, doing an addendum to this as well. So let us know your thoughts. What were your favorite moments in Stranger Things? Either as a series or, in season 4. Let us know. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow,
Share.
share.
Oh yeah, please share it with your friends.
Yeah,
Like,
share with your friends. Let them know you have things in your mouth that you need to get out. I said what I said. I stand by what I said. And Dave's about to spit soda across the room.
I swallowed like a champ.
As any good horse should.
Todd, wake
Although
up.
what?
I don't like this. Todd, wake up.
I'm confused.
Get that out of your mouth.